So friends, in the previous part of the video, definition of wealth, we tried to arrive some definition of wealth, and according to me, the definition of wealth is enough money and enough time to achieve all the goals of basic needs, of your psychological needs, and of your self-actualization needs. So we arrived somewhere there in lack of any defined definition of wealth. So now let's discuss how to generate money and time efficiently, how to generate wealth, how to generate the parameters, that is money and time. So traditionally there are three methods. First method is very common method, that people do job, people work somewhere, people work for someone, people work for some company. And then there is second one, that is people do business, people generate some product and services and sell them to people, to companies and people who need them, and they generate money from that. And third one is investment, and this is somewhat which you can do while you're working for some company or for someone, but that is while you're doing job, and also while doing business you can do investments. So that I am going to specially elaborate a lot, because there are many methods, and that is basically saving your time, and you're investing your money, and you're spending your time in your job and your businesses. So investment is like you're only investing your money, and your time is spent mostly on your job and your businesses to generate more money. So that way investment is like a passive way of generating wealth. Active ways are job and business. So let's discuss job. So job is somewhere where you go to work for someone or for some company. You sell your services. Either it can be of your mind, that is like consultancy or management positions, or as a physic. For some people work as workers and work on assembly lines of companies, or so that kind of. So jobs are, one is physical, one is psychological, and some jobs involve both of them, where you have to both use your mind and also your body. So in jobs, how do you generate wealth? So there is this notion that promotion and increasing your salary every year, that is the way of generating wealth. But what has happened, the increment what has happened historically from many years. Why has always that more than 80% of population has always been unhappy? Why has 80% of population always working so hard has been unhappy? What happens in job? You give more than say 12 hours of your time in a job, and after few years you will notice that the growth of salary which you have achieved has not beaten inflation. You go to buy something after 4 years of saving and something, and that inflation has not beaten. And what happens, you again think that my job has not given. You realize your job has not given enough to you, though you gave so much to that. Many people do job abroad, living apart from their families, and still they are not able to meet their ends meet, or not achieve the level of satisfaction which are achieved by some other people. So that happens in job. So what happens is your salary increment, or whatever the income you're trying to increase, they do not beat the inflation, and that is the reason of dissatisfaction about job in many people. What they try to do is they try to compensate by doing multiple jobs. They try to do a passive income job. Say for a software engineer, he'll work for some software company and he'll try to do some freelancing on the side by. But what happens is that he will generate a lot of money, but he will not be able to spend time regularly with his family and friends, and that will become at some point of burnout. That is psychological burnout. He'll be tired. He'll not be able to generate motivation after a long time. So at this point you might think that I'm against job. No, I have seen people who have generated enough money through jobs also, working for some company. working for some multinational. But how have they done? I have seen they have upgraded their knowledge. They have gone for some certification courses, or they have gone for some management courses like MBA, and they have joined and worked, and then their salaries have improved. So what happens is, when you increase your knowledge, the demand for this knowledge is very scarce. Knowledge is scarce than gold and diamonds also, and that is the way you can generate wealth in jobs. You have to keep on increasing your knowledge, keep on increasing both technical knowledge and management knowledge. I'm telling this for people who are doing jobs. You have to increase your technical knowledge, not only management knowledge. If you're working as a civil engineer, you should know what are the intricacies of civil engineering, and never forget it. When you're moving in management level in a civil engineering company, the demand will not be only for people who do MBA. Demand will be for people who have the ground level knowledge of civil engineering, and also managerial understanding, that you know how to manage business, how to manage people around he is working. For say some people who has, for example, you take a doctor who has a multiple chain of, if you clinics or hospitals, he will also say, in spite of doing so many years of business, still he has to keep a touch with the latest development in medicine and clinical trials and everything, and that is how he keeps himself updated and keeps on improving his business. So your technical knowledge also and your managerial knowledge also should be high. So that is the way. You should be deep enough. Whichever work you do, you should know deep enough. You should be able, cut it through and open it apart, and you should be able to find out what are the intricacies. Job is like, you're working for some company, or you're working for someone, you're selling your services, or your services, that in the sense your physical energy you're selling, or you're selling your mental ability, your knowledge. So I have seen, you have seen workers who are working effortlessly on construction sites, or say shipping yards, picking up sacks of this thing, picking up bricks, but they still get very less wage, and you feel sympathy for them. So that is the thing. The physical ability is available in abundance. Anybody can do with difficulty, or say a person like me who goes to do a worker job, I might not be able to do perfectly, because my body might not have that much energy to work full day picking up bricks, picking up sacks of cements and all. But some months down the line, I keep on pushing, my body will develop that energy. So the physical energy that is for sale is available in abundance. So that is the problem. The thing that is available in abundance always sells for cheap. Why people in management earn a lot? Because there is a lack of, or there is a scarcity of good knowledge, and scarcity of knowledge is so high that it is scarcer than gold and diamonds put together. So I have seen people generating huge amounts of wealth in job also. The thing is that you should keep on upgrading your knowledge, because knowledge keeps on changing. I worked in a software company, and I have seen every 2 years there were new platforms, new languages that were getting development. Every time people had to go back and study and stay relevant. So staying relevant is very important in a job. So whatever your job you're doing, you should have a deep basic understanding of whatever you do. And if you have to increase your salary and move up the ladder, this is an organization that is in a pyramid. The scale, as you go higher, the payment is very, very high, because the scarcity of people who reach upper side are very high. The lower part of the pyramid always are people whose knowledge or whose abilities are in abundance, and they are paid very low, because money is very scarce, like knowledge. And when knowledge is scarce, and when people are recognized with that knowledge, they are paid high. So the aim in the job should always to move higher in the pyramid, that is move higher in the management. So how to tap scarcity? The way to tap this scarcity of knowledge is to keep upgrading your knowledge. Try to do new courses. Try to take courses like in higher education. Say you're going for, if you're a B Tech, go for an M Tech. If you're in some bachelor's degree, go for a master's degree. If you want to move up the ladder in your in your company, if you want to go in management, you should do MBA, or you can do certification courses which are very valuable. So these certification courses also give you knowledge, and also you should keep on building your experience, so that experience also is very scarce. Experience is nothing but the knowledge you have gained from various situations in your organization and various jobs that you did. So that is also very scarce. Build your knowledge through certifications, through various courses, through degrees, and also through working with people who have knowledge, gaining the knowledge. And experience is all about handling every situation all throughout your life, because there are situations of various kinds in an organization in day-to-day working. So you have tackled that. That is the reason your experience is very valuable, and that is the way to generate wealth in job. And that is and that I feel is very, very valuable, and that is the way you generate wealth in job.